This is
coming to you from the heart of the Pacific, brought to you by Paulie by Design.
respected at all times.
Broadcasting from San Francisco, California, the city by the bay.
It's about to go down.
We shine on positive Pacific Islander role models every Sunday.
Party on a Sunday.
From 10 a.m. to noon, it's time for the iconic Faika podcast with your hosts,
Listening to
Naki and Carl.
Good morning, Naki.
Good morning.
What's up? How's your morning going?
Good. Yep.
This is our 9th show, season 6 of the Faika broadcast. Today, we're going to talk about what's going on in the world, and there is no other news headline right now other than the Russian-Ukrainian war. We got a Supreme Court nomination by the Biden administration, Ketanji Brown Jackson, and then our community announcements that always are check-ins, and that starts now. Naki, what's good?
Oh my gosh, what happened this week? My grandson turned 3 months. My
3 months in the
Leo.
snow, huh?
3. Yeah, they went to Lake Tahoe, and so he's just a talker now. And so he's 3. He turned 3 months yesterday. So happy! Babies now we celebrate.
Oh yeah,
every month instead of every year. So I think that's a thing now, even with the baby reveals. How people do the big.
Celebrate everything, which is cool.
Celebrate everything.
A lot of people
celebrate everything.
I don't know, they get all in their feels about we celebrate this and at graduation from 3rd grade. Hey, they're all life's moments.
Yeah.
And I don't think we can celebrate too much. So I'm for that.
Yeah. Yes, you are.
3 months old.
Yes, 3 months old. So when he turns a year, it's a big family get together when my baby turns 1. So I'm excited because he's a talker. And so I try to talk to him every other day I just try not to go too long without talking to him because we have long conversations. So
when you're there, does he talk like to the people, you know what I mean? Like the person, or is he just chattering to him kind of to hear himself talk?
He's really smart. He responds to your voice and he looks me dead in my face and has ongoing conversations. Like I never knew being a grandmother would be this this kind of love. I can't, I thought I loved my kids crazy, and I do, but I love Leo crazier.
I don't have grandkids yet, but I would assume it's like being a parent, right? You think you know what being a parent is,
Yes.
but you don't actually know until
you
you
become a parent,
so
right?
you think you know what grandparenting is going to be like, but you don't know until you are.
Yeah. I used to think like some of my girlfriends have been grandparents for a while, and so they're like, "Oh, my baby," and it's so cute, but they're like, "Oh, wait, you just wait till you." And I'm like, "Yeah, well, I'm not going to be that grandma. I am that grandma. I'm like that Nana. I'm like, I go to work and I'm like, oh, here's a picture of my grandson." Nobody asked, but I'm like, oh, have I shown you the latest picture of my grandson? So yeah, I do that all friggin' week. So
as you should.
Sorry to my coworkers. Sorry to my coworkers that they don't even ask.
Hey, it's easier now though, because before, like way back in the day, grandparents would show up with like a photo album, right?
And
now
you got
your phone. You got your phone.
Bam! Did I show you this? Did you see this?
And if you're not around, I can send it to you.
Yeah. Did you see this? Because 5 minutes ago I showed you a different picture. Yeah. So
every new picture you get, everybody else gets.
Every new pictures, and I've got videos that I send to my sisters, and so yeah, we share videos of our kids. So there you go. So good morning to Christine Mawia, who's checking in. All my Usos will be talking about their blood drive later on this morning. And so
out there saving lives.
Out there saving lives with the blood drive, which I can't give. I wish I could give, but I got a little cancer.
They don't want our blood.
Yeah, they don't want our blood. So there you go. But yeah, so we'll be talking about the blood drive that's happening later on in March. But yeah, this week it was a productive week. PBD all week long. Work has been crazy busy because our building was shut down. So I work in San Francisco, and because of the pandemic, we haven't had anybody in the building. Just, my department and another department has been nonstop in the building. So tomorrow is the first day for our employees full force to come back in the building. And really, it's a hybrid. They're coming in a couple of days a week. So we've been crazy.
So is it masked? Because the CDC is changing rules.
Yeah,
The state has
one
different
week we're
rules.
masked, the next week we're not. But in my building in San Francisco, it's your choice. You can or you cannot. And I've never stopped wearing my mask in the building just because my immune system is shot to hell. But me and my business partner, I guess you'd say, we share an office. We've never stopped wearing a mask. So it's full force this week. Everyone's coming back into the building after 2 years. And so it's kind of sad walking around San Francisco when it's time for lunch. Before, I would just go and walk across the street or to another building, and there's
Empty.
food courts and there's all kinds of little mom and pop shops. And it's so sad to walk around now because the food courts have disappeared. The mom and pop shops have closed down and moved out. So it's really sad. But I'm glad that the city is starting to open up again, and hopefully everyone will be safe. I recommend that you continue to wear your mask just because you never know.
Get life back to normal.
Yeah, we still don't know everything there is to know about COVID-19. So, if you don't know, be safe. I think that's it. That's it. I took the initiative because of PBD and all the stuff that we're moving into. I'm taking a marketing class. So I'm back in school starting March 17th. It's a fast class or whatever. It's from March to May. And so
it's abbreviated. It's faster. Is it from some cheesy school, like a napkin kind of school?
It's UC Berkeley.
UC Berkeley. Look at Mackie.
I know, right? What the hell? So I'm taking that marketing class just for, really, I'm interested in marketing, and plus we need it for PBD. So it'll be good for us. So I was nervous because
Naki, she gives me a call and she said, well, if I need help, I'm going to ask you for help. I'm like, don't ask me for help. I don't know anything about that stuff. So I'm proud of you for
thanks.
A lot of people stop once formal education's over, they stop growing, they stop reading, they stop, really stretching their mind.
Right.
And to see, at an age where most people are good with, I am who I am and I don't care to grow anymore. You're still out there putting yourself in uncomfortable situations and continuing to grow.
Why do I do that to
good myself? For you, because you want to grow.
Right. Totally want to grow, but I want PBD to grow. So in order for PBD to grow, I got to grow, right?
There's motive there.
So yeah, we're remodeling the house. We're not remodeling. We're restructuring the house. So my parents plan to retire soon. So we have a 2-story. And they don't want to, I don't want them to climb the stairs. So we might, like every PI family, we're turning the garage into a living space. Every PI family, the boys are in the garage and the girls are in the room. Well, we're going to try to make it a...
That's how PI shop for houses.
Right.
3 bedrooms, 2 bath,
but
garage.
Is there a garage?
Got a garage?
Is there a garage? Because that turns into an extra bedroom, an extra living room, the boys' room.
In Hawaii, because it's so warm, right? It's carport. So do you have a garage or a carport?
Oh, wow.
Because the carport becomes where all the couches and the TV and the speakers and all that go. So
interesting.
It's carport there. It's garage here. It's bathrooms, bedrooms, and is there a garage?
Yeah, so I'm trying, or not me really. I'm telling Mo.
Mo.
It's Mo that is turning the garage into, we don't know if it's going to be a studio or just somewhere, another living space. So my parents don't have to walk up the stairs. So there's growth there. Of course, we're going to contact our Flip It girl to help out, but she did my front yard, which is where all my kids hang out. And so we're trying to work on the backyard and now the garage. But my main project our main project is the garage. I want to turn the garage into a living space. So
Mose's new project.
that Mose's new project is the garage, which
Put everything over here. Oh wait, no, I don't like the way that looks.
yes,
Put it back.
yes. So of course, like every wife, I irritate the shit out of him. So that's an ongoing thing, but it'll be even more so.
Who knew that's what you signed up for, Mo?
He did. Once you say I do, that means I do work your nerves.
I do this, I do that,
Yes,
I do
work
whatever
your
you want.
nerves for the rest of your freaking life. So there you go. So I think that's all I had this week. Malia was out of school this week, and the girls were home working online. My mama is on. Good morning, Mama. She's checking in on
Good
Facebook.
morning, Auntie.
Yes, we're talking about your living space in my house. So yeah, I think that was my week. Just a lot of PBD stuff. We're growing. We've had a couple of meetings with other badasses that are working to grow. So yeah, that was me for the week. How was your week?
Well, it as will be the theme of my check-ins for the next probably 3 months. It's 5-5's last season of softball. So Thursday I took the day off. I went down to Menlo Park and watched her play softball. And then yesterday I did the same thing. I went down and watched her play softball.
Nice.
And these are non-league games. League play starts in 2 weeks, I think. So it's a little bit irritating from a parent standpoint because she plays in the first game and then they play other people in the second game because they got to figure out, who they want in the lineup. When league starts, obviously she's going to be in the lineup. So I'm like, leave her in so I get her see her swing the bat.
Yeah. She's kicking ass, though.
She's thumping this year. So yesterday I got there. The game started at 11. I got there and I had a work call. So I didn't actually get to the field until like 10 after 11.
Oh, bummer.
And I was thinking, I probably missed, her first at bat. She hits 4 in the order. So I'm figuring she's probably already been up. I get up. It's a flip of the inning and she's on deck. So apparently they went 1, 2, 3.
Oh, wow.
The first inning.
Yeah.
And
quick out.
So she's on deck. She gets up and I don't film every at bat. I just film when I'm feeling it. So she gets up and I'm like, well, I just got here just in time to see her hit. So I hit record. She smashes a double to right center.
I know.
And then after the stands reported to Malia that I recorded it. So I didn't even tell her that I recorded it. I'm on the way back and she's like, send me the video.
Oh.
I'm like, dang, who said I recorded what? She's like, no, I already know. They told me.
Okay. I know. You sent me that video right after it happened and I was like, oh my God, she's doing so good. She's having such a good preseason. So you know what I mean? So she's going to have a good season. And then I seen that you posted it on Facebook and I was like, yeah, that's one of those. Yeah. So yeah, it's good to see her grow. I mean, she loves that sport.
She loves the sport.
And she could be a coach if she wanted to.
She's essentially a player coach now because she's a 5th-year senior. So there's literally girls on that team that are 5 years younger than her. And she's like, they're so young coming in now. And I'm like, dang, look at you saying those girls are so young. But she is the, team captain. She's the liaison. So if the team needs to tell the coaches something, they tell Malia and Malia tells the coaches.
Oh, good.
And she's got, she's had conversations about coaching. So I think she's going to weigh it out whether, she wants to go work or, and that could become, become something because once you love coaching, then you could coach here, you can coach there.
Yeah.
So a lot of options for her out there. I think she's just focusing on her senior year. She's got her senior day coming up. So she's asked the family to show up to that.
We're looking forward to it.
Yeah, and it's rare for her to say, I want people there that day. So we're going to be there. I guess we got to walk her out on a field or some silly stuff.
I know. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
I think Nick will do that.
Nick will do what?
Walk her out on the field.
You walk her out on the field, fool. She wants her parents there. Jeez, for God's sakes, I'll kick your ass that day.
Well, if you're going to be there, then that'll probably happen. Otherwise, I get yelled at.
Yeah, you usually get yelled at. I think all her end of the year, I think we've been to all her family days. So, yeah, that's usually fun. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Got to hang out with dogs on Thursday. It was a dog named Hank, which my
Is
old
that
dog was named
the
Hank.
white husky?
No, that's Luna.
Oh, okay.
Luna was the white husky. A lot like Suna in that she really doesn't. She's not
Chill.
overly excitable about anything. She was out on the field and they were trying to throw her a ball, and that dog was like, I don't know why you're throwing that over there. You better go get it. I'm not getting it. Like she had nothing. She didn't want anything to do with fetching a ball.
Oh, yeah.
Just classic mellow chill husky.
Oh, that's enough.
Let's see. So Wednesday we were in here with a custom builder for, and I can't not talk about it, right?
Right.
So we were in here with a custom builder that is going to redo our studio.
Thank you, Jesus.
And it's going to be, you know, I built the last couple studios. This one's going to be built by a professional.
Thank you, by the way. I think we've outgrown your studio.
So we're going to have he's ordering he came in to do custom measurements. And then he's ordered the items. So it's going to be, we'll have a different look probably, I don't know, in April or May. About time we'll actually get it done, and it won't be recognizable. When we do our show, you will not recognize that. You won't recognize anything that we've had before. So it's exciting to do that. That's actually somebody that I worked with before in a previous life at Tower Records. He let out the ubiquitous good times. And Naki's like, geez,
everybody says that, or at least your crew says that. When I ask them about something and they don't give me details, they're like, oh yeah, that happened. Yeah, good times.
Details to be left out.
Yeah. T does that. Your brother T does that. When we talk about someone, I go, oh yeah, I heard a little bit about that, and he's like, oh yeah, good times. I'm like, damn it. I need the details.
He was there. Actually, he was with me when I've told you the Usher story where he showed up an hour and a half late at Stonestown Mall.
Oh, yeah.
Tony was there.
Oh, Tony was
there that day. So he's the one who introduced us to what is the Little Joe's Pizza on Mission.
I love that place. They have the best. Well, they have really good pizza. So if you're in the city, it's Bravo's is at the corner of Geneva and Mission. And then
just down Mission
to the left is it Little Joe's? Little Joe's Pizza. They have a great salad. What is that salad we always get? I forget.
But it's really good.
Antipasto something salad. The croutons they make them there.
We order bags to go.
Yeah. The waiter there, I'm like, oh my God, I love your croutons. They're so good. They give us literally a paper bag of croutons about this big. And Carl and I eat it on the way back home. It's gone by the time we get home.
So we eat pizza and salad till we're stuffed at Little Joe's. And we get in the car with a bag of croutons.
And just start eating.
And none of the croutons make them to our houses.
But it's so good. And their pizza is really good. I used to love Bravo's, but I think they have new owners now. And I haven't been there since. We
need to go back.
It's just rumors that people have said, oh, Bravo's is a little not just different.
Little Joe's, same ownership. We used to have our regional meetings for Tower Records at Little Joe's way back in.
And when you walk in, it looks like a mafia setting. It's red walls, the like old school pictures of Italy. Like people it's black and white photos of people in Italy, and it just
you can see conversations like do the thing about the thing.
Conversation.
See the guy about the thing.
Yeah. It really feels like a mafia movie when you walk in. So if you're in the city, go check it out. I do recommend their food is really good.
It was pretty cool reconnecting with Tony because he's a Hunters Point kid, San Francisco city kid.
He went to Bal.
He went to Bal.
So that's a plus. Mo went to Bal. I don't know if you see that comment from Pete where he says, what does it say? Carl doesn't look as handsome as last week.
I was in the car last week and actually Nick and I both were saying, that's a good looking bunch of looking bunch of hosts right there.
Last week, Carl wasn't here because they were at 5-5's softball game, and Pete Fiso was my co-host last week. So Pete saw Carl doesn't look as handsome as last week. Good job, Pete. So
Pete, that's not the first time Pete sat in. He
Yeah.
sat in, pinch hit a couple times, does a
Right.
great job. So
Yes.
don't be pushing off Jimmy G. Actually, I'll admit that the
Yes.
Steelers would like to have Jimmy G. So
Okay, that's
if
not
we end
bad,
up with him,
right?
it's better than who we got.
Right.
So
right. Better than who you got?
oh my gosh,
Really?
we got. I don't even know the names of the quarterbacks we got. That's
oh my
how
God.
bad it
Okay,
is.
so Marcus Mariota.
We could pick up Mariota.
We could.
No, we could.
We could because
the Steelers could.
He's a free agent, and they've been talking about it on ESPN that
He could go to the
Marcus
Steelers.
can go to the 49ers
No.
just for a couple years because Trey is a rookie, and so they're like he could. I was listening to that conversation, so 49ers could have a high interest in him just to help the Trey, get into the swing of things. He would be he's only 28. He's a baby. He's
Marcus?
only 20. Yes.
Yeah, he could come
He's
play
only
for the
28.
Steelers.
Has tons of experience. I would like to see him in the red and gold. He, red and gold.
Gold, you got half the uniform right. Black and gold, not red and gold.
Red and gold. So that could be good, right? Right?
Yeah, I was
Yes.
thinking actually last week as I was going down up I-5 as I was watching the show with you and Pete. I was thinking of doing a sports talk show with Pete and maybe
I know
Judge.
The Judge is
the
good.
Judge from up north.
Like the Judge knows every player, their stats.
He knows what high school they went to.
God.
He knows, I don't know, what church they go to. Like he knows every bit about every draft pick of the 49ers. So
that would be awesome.
I'm assuming his football knowledge overall is great as well. And then having Pete there, I'd need, I don't know, some kind of protective gear to wear with two 49er fans on with me.
And that's brave of you. That's brave of you. Yeah. Good morning to Masanga and Lena who are checking in on Facebook. Good morning. Thank you for tuning in.
And then a couple conversations with organizations looking at some grants with our awesome grant writer, Leah Poasa. It was a full week, busy week, but very productive. A lot of kind of laying the groundwork for things to do in the future. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm excited about growth and PBD and just everyone that we've been talking to about collaborating. I don't want to say nothing yet.
Don't jinx it.
I don't want to jinx it. So yeah, it's just, what I love about our community is that there is no competition, right? We're always trying to help each other grow. I have yet to see, I've heard people say like, oh, why are you listening to them for? Aren't they your competition? No, we're pretty much a team.
So
trying to share.
There's a good thought. So if you hear good, because you would think like we're a podcast, we're a broadcast,
we don't listen to other.
If you hear a good PI podcast or media group, send them our way and we'll promote them because that's what we do. It's not like a competition thing. So we are one of the first ones, if not the first ones, to say we ain't for everybody.
Yes.
But there's other people, there's other groups and broadcasts out there that may be your flavor.
Right.
Go find it and we'll help you find it.
Yeah. And there's tons of podcasts out there. I love, The Real Telltale, of course, is one of my favorites with Daisha. And so who else is out there? Mena. Oh, good morning. Mary is checking in on Facebook. Good morning, Mary Talamoni. Mary Talamoni.
Oh, Mary Talamoni.
Yes.
I got Mary Veve on my mind.
So yeah, I love that. There's, we always talk about pushing and promoting positive.
Talanoa Tuesday this last week.
Yes.
They had, I can't remember her name. She was a Samoan lady that did time and has come out and is more of an activist.
Nice.
An advocate.
Yes. Talanoa Tuesday. So yeah, I mean, they're every Tuesday. I don't think they're a podcast, but they go live on Facebook. So check them out. Island City Media they're on Dash Radio. We always say download Dash Radio and search Island City.
Radio Bula Duavata with
Una
Vani
Oh, I know. I mean, she's
she's language.
Yes.
They're in language. That's on the Radio Bula Duavata page. Radio Tonga.
Yes. Yeah, they're huge too. So yeah,
that's a big organization.
If you think about it, there is one. So just Google or search and you'll find them. So Mo's talking football. He's like, Mo is on Facebook saying we could have won the Super Bowl this year with Marcus and definitely would have beaten the Rams. We can't talk about what if. But
See.
if we had Marcus, between him and Trey, we could be going to the Super Bowl. I put that into the universe. I put that into the universe.
Well, I want to win the lottery too.
Are you rolling up your sleeves?
I want to win the lottery too, but
shit?
I don't bank on that. That's not my retirement project.
Yeah, so that a lot of stuff. I mean, it's the rugby player Vainga Tuigamala, who passed away this week. So he's a rugby legend. He played for the All Blacks and won the World Cup several times. And then he went to play for Samoa in 95. He's just an amazing, amazing rugby player who leaves behind a great legacy. So, I just wanted to mention that because it happened this week. So yeah.
Prayers to the family.
Yes. And Mo's a big rugby fan. My Mo played rugby in college and whatever. So
oh my
I don't
gosh.
understand it. I mean, I don't understand rugby. I know you can get, as long as you get it over the line, and wherever you get the ball over the line, that's where you have to kick it from.
So we're going to move on from the rugby talk.
So that's it. That's all I got. Anything else? That's all I got.
Thoughts and prayers to the Tuigamala family.
Yes. Any fights this week?
There was UFC
during the week.
There was UFC last night. And the favorite, I can't remember his name. His last name's Islam. The first name's Islam. Islam Makhachev was the favorite, and he smashed the guy in the first round. So it was kind of boring-ish, but then one of the guys that you got to meet when you were at the press conference, I think, a couple of years ago.
Bellator.
Yeah, Gegard Mousasi.
Yes.
And I knew it was going. So if you know who Paige Van Zandt is, Paige Van Zandt is a very beautiful flyweight, atomweight that fought in the UFC. And there was a big thing about she's only in the UFC because she's pretty. Right. And she's beautiful, but she also has talent. Like she was a legit fighter. She ended up leaving and going to a different organization. Her husband, and everybody jokes that his name is Mr. Van Zandt because he's known because he's Paige Van Zandt's husband. So he's actually was undefeated, and then he fought last night against Gegard Mousasi, who Naki got to meet, take pictures with, hang out with. He's a funny guy too.
I love that. I had such a good time, and thank you to JT.
JT Tenadora.
He reposted those pictures because of the fight that happened. So yeah, it was awesome.
And he smashed Mr. Van Zandt.
Did he really?
Yeah, it was ugly. It was like one of those fights where you're just like, why are they fighting? Like that guy is at a different level than the other guy. So they really played up. And I should know the guy's name, but Mr. Van Zandt. They played up his record as undefeated, but he'd never faced anybody anywhere near Mousasi's talent. Yeah, and it was pretty. It was just one of those.
And why did he fight him? Is he starting over? Did he fall to
it was a title fight because Gegard's the champion, and I think they just didn't have anybody else, right?
Or they probably had somebody. Remember how that happens? They probably have somebody, and if he didn't make weight or something happened, then they hurry up and shove somebody else in.
That's what happened in the UFC. Is Islam Makhachev was supposed to fight Beneil Dariush, and Dariush pulled out, right? And so this guy named Bobby Green stepped in. And that's the thing in the UFC, and all the younger fighters coming up have said, if you stay on weight and you stay ready to fight, you can say yes when they call. Right. And people get knocked out of fights all the time, injuries, COVID-19, weight, whatever. And if you're able to say yes, you get a lot of fights.
Yeah, because the show must go on.
Right. That's why. That's how Nate Diaz made his name. Yeah. Nate Diaz said yes when Conor McGregor was supposed to fight somebody. We did. We were running across the street.
Yeah. He said, "Excuse me, sir."
Funny story here. We were walking across the street with Nate Diaz, and I was like, "Oh, that's Nate Diaz." And she goes, "You should get a picture." And I'm like, "No, I'm good." And
Carl's not with that. I am.
She goes, "No, let's get a picture." And I go, "Hey, Nate, said something." He's like, "Oh yeah." And she goes, "Can we get a picture?" And he said yes. So we're walking across the street to the SAP Center, and as we're walking across the street, everybody else realizes it's Nate
And
Diaz. And they come running over and they're like, can we get pictures? And Naki tells everybody, including Nate, we're first.
Yeah. I asked first. We're going first because we got to go. JT's waiting for us.
And so we get across the street and Nate, I snapped a picture with Nate because Naki put everybody in check and said, hey, whoa, we're first. And Naki was telling Nate, actually, make sure that we're first. And
we're first.
Nate was good.
Yeah,
Nate was cool.
It was pretty cool though. So I was like all excited. And then we met the referee that
oh no.
Is he a referee?
The cut man.
Oh yeah.
Gosh.
He was in a movie too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's horrible that I can't remember his name, but yeah, I'll remember later in the show and I'll shout it out. But that's one of my, I don't fanboy out a lot, but Stitch Duran.
There you go.
So it was Stitch Duran, and he's worked in like legendary corners. He's worked fights with Sugar Ray Leonard. He's, the fighters in the 80s that we all 80s and 90s we all grew up with. He's worked in their corners.
Yeah.
And so I saw Stitch Duran. I was like, that picture I want. Yeah. And he was totally in.
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me. Yeah, I have no shame. I like one time we were at a Warriors game, and it was what is that Giants game? Pedro Torres. Dang it, I forgot his name. And he walked right past us, and I was like, "Excuse me, mister."
Was it the third baseman?
What is his name? Nana, do you remember? Anyway, we were at a Warriors game and he walked right past us.
I got you.
And then I was like, "Excuse me, sir. Excuse me." And then he was like, "Yeah, sure. I'll take a picture." So yeah, I have no shame asking people because I want the picture. If I want the picture, he's never going to see me again. He doesn't know who I am. That's how that, but us will always remember the picture. We're like, remember when we took a picture? He'll never remember. He won't, he's taken a million pictures. I feel like I'm going to sneeze. Celebrities take a million pictures with people, right? They don't care. They'll never think of us again. But to us, it's not a big moment, but it's huge because we're fans.
Well, that's a big moment in our life, right? Because we met so-and-so.
Yes.
They meet people all day long, every day.
Yes. It probably gets tiresome.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So not me. I like taking pictures of people. I forgot we went to a concert and somebody was like, "Naki and Carl, can I take a picture with you?" And I was like, "Oh, okay." Jeez. But yeah, that was
you
weird.
famous.
No,
famous.
That is weird. So anyway, this sounds like a good week. Did I miss anything else? What happened this week?
That's the fun parts. Those are the good parts. Stuck to the diet, lost another pound.
Good for you.
It's a pound a week. That's the plan. And there's a whole bunch of things I could have done better.
Yeah.
So all I got to do is ratchet a few down. I get another pound this next week and just keep going on that sustainable 1 pound a week goal.
Andre Torres.
Who helped you out?
Mena.
Who helped you out?
Andre Torres. That was when I am still a big Giants fan, but back then I knew I had time to know all the players, their stats, the coach, and we were, we watched every game, and our house still watches baseball. Mena can't watch. We're superstitious.
Oh yeah.
So Mena can't watch the Giants game when they're in like the playoffs and
100%.
stuff. Yeah, it's sad.
Mena
but
and I
not.
we'd be in the same room together, not watching together because I can't watch Giants playoff games either. I actually watched when they played the Royals. I watched 3 World Series games, and all 3 the Giants lost. And so Game 7, it didn't go on in my house in the front room where the big TV is. It didn't go on, and Malia went to her room to watch it on her TV, and she'd come out and she's like, "Do you want to know?" I'm like, I just stay. And she's like, "It's crazy. It's a great game." And I didn't watch one inning. I didn't watch it out of Game 7 against the Royals.
Yeah.
Well, and they won.
They won. We have the game on. Everybody's in the living room. And Mena would go to the kitchen or trying to go get a drink of water to stay hydrated. And we're like, "Mena, get out." I mean, everybody goes off. So there you go.
That's a sports thing.
It's a sports thing.
My brother T went to a Steelers game and they were doing horrible. He went to get a beer. He gets a beer. He's in the hall and they pick 6. And so he stayed there for the rest of the quarter. He stayed in the hall, not wanting but that's, sports fans, you do how you do.
Right. So, and they do, the players do that too. Like they wear their lucky socks, and don't wash it. It's so gross, but don't wash it. If it's your lucky socks, don't wash it.
What's funny is you get like a no-hitter or a perfect game going,
Mm.
and the pitcher goes in and sits in the dugout.
Nobody talks to
is
him.
like within 15 feet of
Nope.
him. Like nobody
Yeah.
wants to trip on him. Nobody
Nope.
wants to say something wrong.
Don't piss him off.
That's a
Yeah.
lonely rest of the game from
Yeah.
like inning 6 on. You don't get to talk to anybody. Nobody
Yeah.
saze a thing.
Yeah.
They don't walk by you.
Yeah. I love it. I love that. I love that. I love that. So yeah. I've been on this. Lately we've been on a sports kick. We're always on a sports kick, but lately we've been talking about it on Faika. So there you go.
Not even sure how we got on that, but
Yeah.
that was a fun trip.
Yeah. We went from Nate Diaz. Look, we went from Nate Diaz to Andre Torres to Giants.
Superstitions. Yeah.
That's how that happens. That's how
why
that happens.
the show is called Faika.
Mm-hmm. You mind turning your phone off? We have a show going on right now.
Whose phone is ringing?
Yeah, so that everything crazy. Our Leah Poasa is checking in on Facebook. Good morning, Leah. Leah's Flip It Girl. She's transforms
She takes
trash,
rundown, tired
There
looking
you go.
stuff, furniture, and turns it into fresh,
beautiful,
new
amazing
stuff you want to
Yes.
buy.
There you go. So go follow Flip It Girl on IG, TikTok, everything. Oh, I'm back. Oh, I'm back on TikTok. So follow me on TikTok. Follow me on TikTok. I'm at Naki something. At Naki.
Fired off. You getting in trouble yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
yeah.
like
go,
that?
Go watch my latest TikTok. So there you go. I'm having fun on TikTok. Go check me out. What else is going on?
We got
softball. We covered softball.
Yeah, we got our check-ins in. At some point, we'll do our community announcements. Let's see. So we have Ukraine to talk about. If you want to talk about Ukraine, and we've got a Supreme Court nomination by the Biden administration.
Right.
That's kind of an interesting thing from my point of view, and I'll
we could do that.
talk a little bit about why I think that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we got
this week. I swear to God, snacky with Nacky. Round 19. I have not been I've been so crazy busy, but people have, like Carmen, who follows us on Facebook, said that, are you going to do snacky with I will go this weekend. I will go do snack. I think I have like close to 400, like $396, $400.
Nacky better be losing weight because she's not snackying.
I know. I'm not. I'm not, but I'm back on it. I'm back on my low carb. I start tomorrow. Like every Monday I start something. Just bear with me.
There's a Monday every week.
There's a Monday every week, and every week I start. But Snacky with Nacky round 19 is going on. I'm so sorry. I've just been lagging because, well, one, I eat all the time, and so I started to gain weight from doing Snacky with Nacky every week, and then we slowed it down to 2 weeks, and now it's like once a month. But I'm definitely going this weekend to go eat somewhere. So Snacky with Nacky is, we ask people for 50 cents, which is easy. You have 50 cents in your couch. You Venmo or Cash App me. And then whatever we collect at the end of the round, which is this weekend, I will take that and we'll go snacky somewhere. And then whoever our server is, we will tip them the amount that we have. So far, it's $400. And so, hey, that is a huge amount. So wherever we go eat this weekend, that server will get at least $400 in tips. And that's all from everyone who's donated. So we so appreciate you. And 50 cents is our ask. I don't want to make it a bill. I don't want you to give me, a crazy amount, because 50 cents, everyone can do 50 cents. And I think because of 50 cents, it's gone 19 rounds because people, they continue to send me 50 cents. And so it's gone, this is our 19th round. So there you go.
And we record that feel good moment and we put it out there on social media so you guys can enjoy in it too.
Yes.
And if you're looking for 50 cents in your, but Nacky says it's in your couch. Your couch may be, if you're PI, your couch may be out in your garage. Or your carport.
So there you go. We're going to go to a break real quick and we'll be right back. You're listening to the Faika broadcast. I am Nacky. This is Carl. Our producer Mena is
not Pete.
On
not
it
today. I'm not quite as good looking as I was last week.
There you go. So we'll be right back. You're listening to the Faika broadcast. Maybe not. We may give us a minute or so. We're kind of slow this morning. It's been freezing. Like I woke up this week and it said, my car said 32 degrees.
Did you have to scrape ice? Did you?
No,
Oh.
because I warm up my car before I get in there. I turn the engine on before I get in. But when I got in, it said 32 degrees, and then it had a little snowflake as the Fahrenheit thing. And I was like, oh, how cute. Look at my car.
Everybody who's not in California is like, oh my gosh.
I know. I'm sorry. East Coast. Hey, that's cold for me. East Coast. I'm sorry. I'm in California, like where it's, I don't know, 60 is cold for me.
Yeah, it got down into the high 20s, low 30s in this past week.
Right.
And, I don't chip ice. I take a bucket of water out and throw it on my on my windshield so that it just throws all the...
Doesn't it just crack your window?
No.
Oh.
Urban myth.
I
don't know. If you throw like hot water on it, maybe that might be, but no,
Mm.
I've been doing that for years and I'm not chipping things.
Yeah,
So,
there you go.
I'm a bad live in the cold person. I wouldn't be good at that.
All right, here we go. We'll be right back. You're listening to the Faika broadcast.
Join us tomorrow at 5 p.m. for the award-winning show Koviki Talk, where we talk about all things COVID-19, but from the Pacific Islander perspective. We deliver timely, important, and most importantly, accurate health-related information relevant to the PI community. It's Pacific Islander health and community representatives speaking directly to the PI community. Essence of Mana is offering free classes via Zoom. They're reaching out to our PI community, and it doesn't matter where you live, you just need to be able to commit to the course, which is 12 weeks. For more information or to register, you can hit up Lulu Masina at 415-243-6328 or El Masina at healthright360.org. They also have Talanoa Tuesday every week at 7 p.m., hosted by Nani Wilson and Lulu Masina. Check out all their episodes on the Essence of Mana Facebook page.
The first annual Pacific Feast Festival is happening Saturday, July 9th at the Santa Clara County Fairgrounds, featuring various PI artists such as Fiji, Sammy J, Maoli, Tanel, and the Bay Area's very own K-Mub Cobb. And more artists are being added every week. Please go to PacificFeatsFestival.com to get your tickets.
Come check us out.
We'll be there. Protect your kids the best way possible with COVID vaccines, which are tailored for children 5 to 11. Talk to a health worker if you have questions. Find vaccines near you at vaccines.gov. We can do this. The Abundant Birth Project, a pregnancy income supplement pilot program for Black and Pacific Islander pregnant people in San Francisco. This program is providing a monthly stipend at $1,000 during pregnancy and during the postpartum period to Black and Pacific Islander pregnant peoples in San Francisco. The purpose of ABP is so that you can worry less about money and focus on having a healthy and safe pregnancy. expectingjustice.org/abundantbirth-project. Go there, get your money.
How much is it?
$1,000.
A month?
A month.
Every month?
Every month.
Man, get your money. The Amu Blood Drive is happening March 19th, 2022 from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at 2055 Sunnydale Avenue, San Francisco, California. For more details, visit linktr.ee/allmyusos or contact Christine Mauia at 650-219-1081.
The 7th annual Amu Barbecue is happening August 20th at Gilman Park in San Francisco. It's a free family affair for the entire family.
How much is it?
Free
99.
Parking is free. The food is free. You just got to show up.
Come check us out. We'll be there.
And we're back. You're listening to the Faika broadcast. I am Naki. With me, as always, is Carl.
Hearing about that free food making me hungry.
I'm kind of hungry. Considering I'm on my lose weight day again.
On Sunday?
On Sunday.
Oh.
Well, I start tomorrow, but I'm trying to cut back. I know I say this every week, so someday I will follow through. Bear with me.
Save up for your cheat day to be the Amu barbecue day.
Yes.
There's great food. There's great food there.
Yeah.
And I'm not doing any kind of diet on that day.
So this week, crazy shit is happening in the world. Russia.
It's the PBD media hotline.
Russia.
Crazy shit is happening.
That's how you do it. Russia invaded
Invaded.
Ukraine. That's what I'm saying.
That's correct.
Russia invaded Ukraine. And my gist of this is Ukraine used to be a part of Russia and they separated. And then now they have this new they're actually flourishing. In my opinion, Ukraine is actually flourishing. They voted in a democratic, what is he, a president, a leader? Leader. And then I guess Russia doesn't want them to grow or whatever part I don't know. You tell me.
So Ukraine depends on how far back you go, right? If you go back to the fall of the Soviet Union in 1991, the Soviet Republic was 15 different countries.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
Ukraine was part of the Soviet Republic.
But it's all Russia.
No.
The U.S.
It was part of the USSR. It was a Soviet Republic, but they were all, they were basic and ethnically they're kind of the same. So, and the fall of Russia in 91, fall of the Soviet Republic, Ukraine became their own independent nation. But ethnically, they're very similar. Then you could even say that they're the same. If you go back to the 9th century, what is Ukraine now was called Kiev Rusin, and Rusin became Russian, right? So Kiev Rusin was one area. Belarus got their name from Kiev Rusin, Belarus, and Russia got their name from that area.
So it used to be a part of Russia. They broke off on their own?
It used to be, before it was part of Russia, in the Ukraine, Kiev is the beginning of
Ukraine.
Of all of them. Of Russia and of Kiev and Ukraine. So
is the map. So, okay, I'm lost. Ukraine and Russia are two separate countries.
Two separate countries
in the same
today.
Area.
In the same area today.
That one place you said.
Kiev is the capital of the Ukraine.
Okay.
So if you look at the map up there, Kiev is, and I can't, I'm not a geography person.
Kiev is the capital of Ukraine.
Correct.
And this is where Russia feels that Kiev is still part of Russia.
They feel like all of that should be Russia. Like there are
capital.
There are ethnic Russians in Ukraine. There are Russians in Ukraine. There are ethnic Ukrainians.
Right.
So the eastern part of Ukraine has been, there are rebels fighting in that area for years. And there's independent areas of like Donbass where they've said, nope, we're independent. We are not part of Ukraine.
So there's people in Ukraine saying that they are not part of Ukraine.
Correct. They're their own side. And those rebels have been backed by Russia. Okay. Russia is in there. Helping the rebels. Donbass is an area in eastern Ukraine. If you look at that map, they're in the eastern part of Ukraine next to the Russia border.
That's a big chunk. Ukraine is about the size of Texas. Oh, wow. So
that is not, sometimes you think of these little countries over there. Ukraine is about the size of Texas. So Ukraine is 233,000 square miles. Texas is 268,000 square miles.
Okay.
So it's about the same area. There are 45 million people that live in Ukraine.
Okay.
There's 39 million people in all of California.
Okay. So Russia wants that little piece back or the whole Ukraine?
Whole thing. They feel like the whole thing
is
part of Russia.
Okay.
Right. So part of this, what happens is NATO was created, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. And NATO is the bordering countries of Europe and it was created to stop the spread of Russia. So Russia didn't grow into the North Atlantic states.
Okay.
So basically what NATO says is, North America, like us and Canada, and then all of the European countries, North Atlantic European countries are saying, if you move against one country, so if you move against
Ukraine,
no, not Ukraine. Ukraine wasn't part of NATO. If you move against France or England or the
Russia.
Scandinavian countries.
So, okay.
If you move against any of those, if Russia moved against any of those, they would respond. All of them.
Yeah.
All of you move against one, you move against all of us. So that was to stop the spread of
Russia.
When the wall fell in 91, Then NATO starts growing into and closer to Russia. They start adding countries
Around Russia. Okay.
So if you think about the Cuban Missile Crisis, we didn't want missiles in Cuba because that's right next to us, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're saying we don't want NATO in Ukraine because that's right next to us. So they're saying as part of their national security, they don't want Ukraine to become part of NATO because that would allow us, basically the America or NATO countries, to line their border. So Russia's saying it's national security from their standpoint to reclaim Ukraine.
Okay, but what are the chances of that happening?
It's happening.
That they're reclaiming?
They're taking back Ukraine right now as we speak.
Okay, so who's going to stop that?
I don't know.
Ukraine is not part of NATO.
Ukraine is not part of NATO.
Who's going to stop that? Nobody?
Well, there's a whole bunch of German money and weapons and U.S. money and U.S. weapons and NATO funded groups that are sending machinery and money and weapons to Ukraine to fight
help
Russia.
Ukraine.
Yeah.
Is that NATO is sending Ukraine weapons and money?
Yes.
But are not actually in
We're not
the
sending
war.
people over there.
We're sending help.
We're sending help. We're sending money. We're funding a war over there.
Oh, okay.
But what's weird, so if you go back to back to that 9th century when Kiev Rusin was there, they were ruled by the great prince whose name was Volodymyr.
Mm-hmm.
That's the president of Ukraine. His name is Volodymyr.
Mm-hmm.
That's after Vladimir. It's the same name.
Okay.
Vladimir Putin. His name's Vladimir. Like they're both named after the same. Their lineage of the name goes back to the same place. Like Nikita Khrushchev, the ruler of Russia in the 50s, he's Ukrainian. He's from Ukraine.
Okay. So what is so why can't we just let them fight?
We can.
But we won't.
We won't.
Because?
Because
we don't want Russia to be so powerful?
We want our territory. The quote democratically elected government was, we put that government in place in 2013 and 2014.
We as in
the CIA, as in the United States. So it's a government that's friendly to the United States.
Okay, so is the U.S. going to go to war with or help them, or we cannot? What is the deal? Like, are we going to war or we're not?
I don't know if we'll go to war. I know that we're going to fund a lot of what's going on in Ukraine. We're going to put money. We're going to put equipment.
We, as in the USA or NATO?
Both. Mostly us. We are the strongest country in the world. So we have the most resources. We can do the most there. We have the bigger links to Volodymyr Zelensky, the leader of the Ukraine.
And why why can't we just do the minimum like France and Canada and the other countries? Like, why do we have to do so much?
That's our foreign policy. We get involved in why did we need to install the government in there in 2013 and 2014?
Mm-hmm.
Because we want a government that's friendly to us and not friendly to Russia. So, I don't personally, I think we shouldn't be in there. We shouldn't be doing that. I think that NATO's an outdated treaty that was for before the fall of the Soviet Republic. But that's how our foreign policy works. This way it's worked for
years and years
for almost 100 years.
Yeah. So we're in everybody's business.
We're in everybody's business.
We're in everybody's business. The sad thing about this whole thing is that they're saying that males from 16 to
can't leave.
70 or 80 cannot leave the country. So I've been seeing videos of men saying goodbye to their families so that their families can get to safety. Like I seen this lady who went out of the country, Ukraine, to Hungary. And I don't know, vacation, visiting somebody, I don't know what. But then Russia invaded Ukraine and she was stuck in Hungary. And her husband couldn't leave to bring the kid. They had kids. And so he let a stranger who just was going to Hungary take his children
Mhm.
to get them to safety. Like he gave his kids to a stranger to get them and trusted this stranger will take his kids to
Right.
safety to Hungary to meet
Because
the
what are the options?
yeah,
What do I have?
stay or die or yeah.
Do I send you there alone, or
Yeah.
this guy saying he'll help?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
but what are my options?
It's so sad. It's so sad.
And that's the thing is, war's horrible.
Mhm.
War is horrific, and families are broken. People die. There's
Mhm.
war atrocities. I mean, there's
Right.
all these things that go on, and it's poor people that pay it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
The soldiers that would fight the war those aren't rich kids. I mean,
Right.
there may be rich kids there, but they're there by choice.
Right.
They're there because they went to officer candidate school and they
Right.
decided they wanted a
And the
career in
majority of the military is poor
military
kids.
in every country
Or
are
else- yeah.
poor people.
Right. Trying to better themselves by
Right.
education, getting paid.
Right.
Yeah,
And getting
so-
skills and
right.
hopefully not, fighting and dying for it. But I really think Putin wanted to get this over with quickly. I think you look at the amount of force and the coordination that the military is putting in there. I think he wanted to end it as quickly as possible because he's on the world stage
Right.
and everybody's looking at it going, what the hell are you doing? So the
Mhm.
quicker he can get that done and out of the way, the less people see it. But it's like, I don't know, like people that beat their kids, right? You don't want
Right.
to beat your kid in public. You want
Right.
to beat your kid, where people don't see.
Behind closed doors.
Behind closed doors. Ukraine's not
Yeah.
behind closed doors right
Yeah.
now. It's then the more the
world
day
is-
goes by, another day goes by, more people see it, and
Mhm.
the anti-Russian sentiment comes out. So I don't think it's gone the way that Putin's wanted. I
Yeah.
think that he really hoped it'd be over in a couple days, and Ukraine is
not.
putting up a fight.
Yeah. Yeah. So when they're just going to continue to fight until he thinks he won, or do you think he'll pull out because of NATO and
No, I think he's all in at this point. I mean,
Jeez.
he's really put he's put his partner countries in a bad position because there's other countries that are like, no, Russia doesn't plan to invade. Like,
Yeah.
the countries that are supporting Russia
yeah.
in the last 2 weeks have been saying, no, he's not
No.
going to do it now. What
Yeah.
has he done? He's made his
Yeah.
backers are like, you make us look like asses
Yeah.
because we backed you up to this. So I don't think he can. I think he's in for a pound.
Yeah.
He's gonna take over the Ukraine and put in his own government.
Yeah. So I don't know how I feel. I know that I've seen stories of families from Ukraine, just people that are saying goodbye, men that are saying goodbye to their families that are leaving Ukraine and they stay behind. That has been killing me, but it's like any other war that's what you see. Every family is getting their loved ones to safety because of all of the
I'm pretty surprised.
whatever is going on there. The
Russia-
crazy shit.
Russia's very technologically advanced. Like their cyber
Mhm.
security is probably, we say, second only to ours. So I would think that would mean that it's probably equal to ours,
Mhm.
maybe even surpasses our ability.
Yeah.
They didn't shut down social media. They weren't able to knock down the servers and those
Yeah.
kind of things. So it surprises me that didn't happen. That's one thing that Putin's done in Russia. He's absolutely shut down. Like social media has to go through Russian servers, and like you can't use war in the media. You can't
Yeah.
use war to describe what's going on in Ukraine in Russia. If
Right.
you're reporting on it, you can't use the word
Yeah.
war.
Sister Adele says Putin did not foresee the strong resistance from the citizens of Ukraine.
Yeah, I think that there was a thought that there was going to be
Like you said,
a
quick.
large
He thought,
contingent
yeah.
of ethnic Russians in Ukraine that would, help from the inside.
Mhm.
I don't think it's gone the way that, again, Putin put a lot of effort and a lot of coordination into the invasion. And I think that's because he wanted it over quickly.
Mhm.
And now it's grinding out. And if you get into the point where you're going street to street, building to building,
Right.
that's what gave America less taste for war, is those images of us going, in the Middle East, going street to street and door to door and grinding out this on the ground kind of battle.
Right.
That not a lot of countries have appetite for seeing that. So I think it just gets worse for Putin. Ukrainians are going to get a lot of support from a lot of countries around the
Outside.
world.
Yeah.
Germany,
I think so
us.
too. As it as it continues, and the stories that are coming out of Ukraine, of the families, because we always say if it makes you feel, that's where people
Right.
move. I think with all the stories that are coming out, and they're going viral, because I would see a video and then I would see it continuously on my news feed. So I think that as that happens, other countries are going to come in, like the U.S., of course, but other countries are going to go in and help
Support.
Yeah, support. So
it to me, my opinion, this is not necessarily PBD's opinion. My opinion is that we bottle out of this when we tried to assassinate the leader of Belarus. Belarus got their name from Kievan Rus. Like, that's a Slavic Russian nation. And when we put our own government into Ukraine in 2013-14, like, there's going to be pushback at some point. And this is part of that. This is part of that pushback. There was a ruler 250 years ago in Russia, Catherine the Great.
Catherine, I'm watching that. I
knew you'd get a
watching
kick out of that. She had her hands in Crimea and Ukraine as well. Her forces were in both Crimea and Ukraine. So Crimea is another thing. Crimea is another incident or instance of that. They've always felt like Crimea was part of Russia. They did the same thing that they're doing in Ukraine. They did to Crimea in 2013.
Oh, wow.
They overtook Crimea in 2013. Now it's just the next step is Ukraine.
Yeah, I'm in a rabbit hole with this. It's called The Great. It's on Hulu. Go check it out. It's a story about Catherine the Great, who is she's married the Emperor Peter, right. And she's from Germany. She married a Russian guy, or the Emperor, and now she
overthrew his ass.
She's overthrew his
in
ass,
charge.
and now she's ruling the country.
I haven't seen the show, but when this whole thing with Ukraine blew up, I was thinking, oh, that's going to be the part of that's a show that Naki's watching, because it was under her control when she took over Ukraine and Crimea.
I was watching that before this crazy shit started, and then I'm like, ooh, whoa, what's the odds? But yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's a little quirky, it's kind of funny, and it's kind of brutal too. So, but that's what I'm watching. Okay, thank you for explaining that to me, because I kind of understood, but
Yeah, the other thing is Putin's old school. He was a KGB agent. He was a member of what would be our CIA.
Yeah.
He was a KGB member in Germany when the fall of Russia happened in 91.
Yeah,
so he's always wanted to return the map to what it looked like in 91. His thing is to reclaim the countries that were in the original Soviet Republic, and Ukraine is one of them.
Oh, crazy shit. Well, there you go. There you go.
There you go.
Also in the news this week, Biden,
like he said he was going to do.
Like he said, yeah. I wish he would have worded it different, or just not said anyway.
Well, there's something to be said for that, right?
Right.
So when you say, I am going to pick
a person of color,
a female person of color.
Yeah.
There's like, some people are going to applaud that, and they're going to say, good. And other people, and I'm one of the other people, I think that it puts baggage on the person that gets the job.
Right. So real quick, President Biden nominated for the Supreme Court. What's her name? Ketanji Brown Jackson, who is a woman of color, which is exactly what he said. But like you said, it puts a heavy.
Because that happened, and this is definitely not the same thing, but it happened to Mike Tomlin when he became the Steelers coach. A lot of people were like, "Oh, he just got the job because he's black."
Right.
And then 15 years later, 2 trips to the Super Bowl, the people are like, "Oh, he's a good coach."
Yeah.
But he had to overcome
all that shit.
That piece of, oh, he only got the job because he's black.
And I think that she's going to go through that for a while, because she's highly qualified.
Right.
She's freaking qualified for the job. But I think because
he said when you say those kind of things, and like I said, I understand the point of view that it's should be said and it's helpful, but like if I'm Ketanji Brown Jackson, I'm thinking I want people to know that I got the job on my merits,
right.
on what I've done, not first because I'm a woman of color, and then we kind of make you fit.
Right.
I want people to know that I'm qualified to do
Right.
this job, and she is qualified
She's
to do the job.
way qualified for this job.
And she'll have to go through the same thing that Mike Tomlin went through with the
Right.
Steelers, is let me do some great things, even though I've already done great things.
Right.
And now all of a sudden I've got to prove that,
Right.
I deserve the job, and I didn't just get it because I was black.
Right.
That's just me. There's other people that think that the announcement, you shouldn't be afraid to say I'm going to make it, but I think it makes it harder on the person who's ultimately selected for the job.
Me
I think it makes
too.
it harder on them.
Me too. But I think if she just does her, like, do you, everybody will shut up. But I think the first year or so, it's going to be, people are going to judge and critique every little thing she does because of what was said prior to her being nominated.
Yeah. The confirmation process is going to be interesting because all federal judges have to be approved by the Senate, have to be confirmed by the Senate. So last year, she was put in for the Appellate Circuit Court of District of Columbia in the Senate, and she was passed by a vote of 53 to 44. Not a lot, not really that close.
Yeah.
Right. I bet the vote doesn't go that way now.
Right.
Just a year later, they're going to vote on the same lady, and watch what happens. It ain't going to be 53 to 44.
Yeah.
It's going to be straight down party lines.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah, that's the same lady.
Like, she was qualified.
She was good
in
enough
your
last
mind,
year.
she was good enough last year.
And
but
now,
because
and I don't know, maybe the vote's the same. I highly doubt it.
Yeah.
I think that the 3 Republicans that jumped the line
won't jump
and
the line
voted
this year
for her last year. And really the swing vote, there's 2 independents, and the 2 independents will have to vote yes for Ketanji Brown Jackson,
right,
in order for it to get to a tie. And if it's a tie, then Kamala Harris throws the deciding vote, and she would be affirmed.
Yeah. Sister Adele is on. I think until there is racial equality, it has to be announced until it's the norm.
Yeah, and that's the school of thought that it needs to be announced. But I think that it makes it harder for the person to take the position to have to overcome that, because then you're saying that's basically saying I'm not going to consider anybody who's white, any male,
right,
and you're saying that she's not as qualified as a white male because you're not
looking
considering
way,
them, right? I'd rather say I'm considering everybody, and she's the most qualified to get the job,
right?
Rather than say I'm going to eliminate 65% of the population and only look at this 35%. That's just my opinion. But I agree with Sister Adele, who's saying, like, look, we need to be open and honest about this.
Right.
But I believe, clerking for a Supreme Court justice, Stephen Breyer is the one that's retiring. She clerked for Stephen Breyer.
Yeah, I've seen that.
She's currently serves as the U.S. Court of Appeals for the D.C. Circuit. She was a public defender, so she's been on both sides of the bench.
Right.
She was a federal district court judge, and she's also served on the U.S. Sentencing Commission. So that's qualified.
That's qualified.
I can say I'm putting her in position because she's the most qualified person, and not say she's I'm eliminating half the field.
Right. And that's an ongoing debate, with people, right? I mean, if you say this, like President Biden did, that's the whole controversy is, you're only looking, but in my mind, he is looking for people that are qualified. And of course, she's the most qualified. But I think it opens like that argument of, that's all you're looking for. And like you said,
I got to wear that.
Right.
I got to wear that, and I got to overcome the, again, if Tomlin doesn't win a Super Bowl, then he probably gets the whole time. Yeah, see, like
told you
he wasn't qualified for the job, which isn't fair because like white coaches don't wear that.
Yeah.
Right.
But I think and I think not just this, I think everywhere in the world, this is the ongoing conversation of, we're trying to make everything equal and the color lines, and we don't have to, you know what I mean? Like, because there wasn't a black coach. So people think, oh, we're going to hire this one black coach and that's it, which really because of Flores, I'm starting to think that, but he's highly qualified,
Right.
you know. I think even in our everyday lives, like people talk to me differently, and we ain't going to get into details, but people talk to me differently than they do you when PBD goes into a room.
Certainly.
When PBD goes into a room, they look directly at Carl, and I'm like a secretary. I think they think I am, and you piss me off, by the way, but I'm anyway, but that's right. Just the way of the world, right? We always look to the man instead of the woman, which it's irritating.
And there's responsibility on
Right.
my part sometimes that I'll do that and I just want to answer. Like
Right.
I'll make the people address Naki,
Right.
you
right.
know, but you got to recognize that. Like
Right.
all sides need to recognize that and be honest about it. Like
Right.
if you turn your back on it and you say there's no racism, then racism never going to get addressed.
Definitely.
If we say there's no sexism and there's no bias or
Always.
prejudice, you gotta say that it's there so you can have the conversation. So I definitely understand what Adele is saying is that, you know, we shouldn't be afraid to say what we're going to say.
Right. I think
what we're going to do.
I think the person of color always has to work harder and show, like, I don't know why it just, here, sister says each and every minority typically has to work harder than their white counterparts, in my opinion as well, too. I feel that every day. When I go to work, I feel like I have to work harder and speak louder than everybody else. Than the man in you know, than the white man or the white person. I always have to speak louder. I always have to work harder. And if you sit quiet, you really do. And every job, if you sit quiet, you're not going to be seen. But I feel that every person of color has to work harder.
Yeah,
just because
that's a discussion. That's a point that we got to be able to talk about. Do we announce it? Do we not announce it, but then pick it? And then people are going to say, well, you were only going to consider, you know, it's, to me, it's, you know, it's like when Thurgood Marshall retired.
Mm-hmm.
Thurgood Marshall retires and, you know, a black male replaces a black male. And there's the thought, well, of course you were going to only go with a black male because Thurgood Marshall retired. But
I wish that President Biden wouldn't have said that. I wish he wouldn't have said that. So just so that I'm
going to pick the most qualified person.
Right.
And then you pick Ketanji Brown Jackson.
Yes.
And then that speaks it, that this was the most qualified person for the job. Yeah.
I wish he wouldn't have said a lot of stuff, but that I wish he wouldn't have said, just, you know, in my opinion,
right.
Just because it saves a lot of drama. Like now we've got all this other bullshit and not remembering that she's the most qualified. Period.
She's qualified to do the job. And if you have everybody's qualified to do the job and they're equal in their, you know, then you pick from, okay, now there are diversity candidates. And if they're equal, then I'm going to try to equalize the look on the court or the makeup of the court. Right. That's one thing. But if you say it in the way that that people are going to take it the way Biden says it is, I'm going to take people that are less qualified and I'm going to bring them to the top of the pool. And if it were not said that way, it were said, I'm going to find the most qualified people and make a selection. Right. It just is different. It felt like he was saying, I'm going to pick a black female.
No matter what.
Right. No matter what. Even if they're not the most qualified. And that's not the case.
That's not the case. So just choose your words wisely, President Biden.
To President Biden's handlers, please.
Yes, your speechwriter, your whatever is. So there you go. That I'm clear on that. So thank you. Anything else? Sorry we went over. Well, I'm not sorry. we talking.
Happens every time we only have a couple topics.
Yeah.
We always end up talking too much.
We got nothing.
We have 6 topics where we come up under time. We have 2. We go long.
We go crazy. So yeah. And you got anything you want to spit out before we go? Thank you for breaking everything down.
More those are, you know, just my opinions of what's going on in Ukraine and with Ketanji Brown Jackson. But you watch, that vote ain't going to be 53-44.
Yeah,
it's going to be right down party lines. And that just proves that it's partisan politics.
Yeah. So if it's right down the party line, the VP makes it to
So
the final vote?
There's 48 Democrats, 50 Republicans, 2 independents. And the 2 independents have historically voted Democratically.
Okay, good.
So it's probably going to end up 50-50, and then Kamala casts the deciding vote. And it could be if Vince McMahon Jr. is writing the script, she's going to turn heel and she's going to say no.
Yeah, no. So pretty much a done deal.
Yeah,
pretty much a done deal.
watch all the dirt that they bring up, the way that the
Yeah.
Democrats did with Kavanaugh. Somehow the Republicans are now going to try to drag Ketanji Brown Jackson through
The mud.
the smearing.
Yeah.
That's just the way we do politics, though, I
It's
guess.
awful.
Horrible.
It's awful. So there you go. So, if you missed any part of this, feel free to rewind or go back and catch the explanation in it. And all of this is our opinion.
We're not a news network.
We're not a news network yet. Speaking it out into the universe. Crazy news. Come get it here.
We'll need new hosts if we're a news
Yeah.
network.
So we're back next week. Thank you for tuning in. Snacky with Nacky is going on. Send your 50 cents. I have the flyers somewhere on our social media. Go look. We're going to go Snacky next week. What else? We're on March 7th for Koviki Talk. This past Monday, we had the Wayfinders on. If you missed that, go and check it out on our Facebook page. They did a great job. March 7th, we'll be covering the island of Kiribati. And then we're on Wednesdays on Island City Media. Download Dash Radio app. Dash Radio, and then search Island City and check out all the amazing programs that's on there. And we will be back next Sunday at 10-ish, Carl?
10-ish.
10-ish. We
That's
usually
how
are
we do.
10-ish. That's how we do because we're a PI show. Come back to Faika with us.
Love y'all.
Our voice is our liberation.
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 Our voice is our
My name is Juanita Monesa Kim Yasu. I am from Chuuk, Federated States of Micronesia. I have been living in Vancouver, Washington for almost 10 years, or over 10 years. Airuku, amen otsiagerikit, hatsi akawirki sotsu hatsi pueki patakuran irisits, me patakuran naratsakiak. Nagu patak pukurawe why? Pun ngagebarirap, mayor udibane. Even not a Kiran, Nami eki patakuririsi, Pugami fokurari, Nuakusuri Kerodirin, a report better for Fisigari, US up to or thought to Wuru Lake. Iratuk Parusudai Witson, Arangeli Patakuririsi, Pugami what's it I was up where on it to Wuru Idewe. Ngami par witsen ay po software avere tubulu mogeiwe fiti figure picture ikatota rai fabili betereges kids start to kids be witi e betots po ye metods yamer fokuroti not already kids yamer retiari toger fabili ikatogen ire puire irapota sipwe apetsekura irisit pun sipotogori tubulu atoyatske ladies.
Naughty fanson, me Naughty fanson, me COVID-19, I ate John on our wings, only at the non-family. Naughty fanson, naughty Narin kanson, narin
What are you looking good? Where are you going?
Just going down to the birthday party, ma.
Oh, yeah, forgot about that. Go tell your auntie I'm really sick. And your baby brother too. Oh, don't take a long time. I'm scared of the murder.
Saying all the honey's in the glass and the love.